In this video, we are going to discuss one of the exercises in the John Bird textbook, Understanding Engineering Mathematics. And we're looking at practice exercise 263, number 4, on page 721. So now, by looking at this integral here, look at the form of this integral. We go to our given formula sheet, and we'll see that we have a formula that takes this form here. Okay, the integral of the square root of a squared minus x squared with respect to x is equal to a squared over 2 multiplied by inverse sine of x over a plus x over 2. Okay, let me write the 2 again. There's a 2 here, multiplied by the square root of a squared minus x squared plus arbitrary constant c. So this is the formula that we're going to use because the given integral that we have to evaluate takes the form of this formula. Okay, so now we go to our integral. Okay, we notice that we have a 9t squared in the second term under the square root. So let's say the following. So we say, therefore, the integral of the square root of 16 minus 9t squared with respect to t. This is what we have to evaluate. We notice that we can write the 9t squared as 3t all squared. Okay, so we can rewrite this as follows. We can write it as this. Okay, this is the square root of 16 minus 3t to the power of 2. Okay, we're integrating with respect to t, so we can rewrite it like this because it has to be in this form. Because if you look at the formula, we've got the integral of the square root of a squared minus x squared, right? We have to then use algebraic substitution for this one. We have to go, let u be equal to this 3t, all right? And then we have to substitute. We have to then differentiate u first with respect to t, and then perform a substitution so that we can write our integral in this form of the formula. Okay, so we then go ahead and differentiate this. So we go derivative of u with respect to t is equal to the following. So if you differentiate 3t with respect to t, you are obviously going to get 3. All right, so if you go ahead and you cross multiply, you will get the following. You will get du divided by 3 is equal to dt. You get du divided by 3 is equal to dt. So now you're going to substitute into the integral. So you're going to have, therefore, the integral of the square root of 16 minus 3t squared with respect to t is now equal to the integral of the following. So the square root of 16 minus, so in place of 3t, now you put u. Okay, so now we have u squared. And in place of dt, you put du over 3. Okay, so now this is equal to the following. So you factor out the 1 over 3 because it's a constant. All right, and then you multiply this by the integral of the square root of 16 minus u squared with respect to u. So now this integral over here, now it takes the form of our formula. All right, okay, our integral here now takes the form of the formula here. So now we can go ahead and apply this formula. And by looking at this integral, we can see that the a will be the square root of 16, which is of course 4. So in the formula over here, in place of a, we're going to put 4. So that's how you evaluate this integral. So now you're going to have 1 over 3 multiplied by the following. So in place of a, we're going to put 4. So we're going to have 4 squared divided by 2 multiplied by the inverse sine function. We can put a bracket around this because we have to multiply this 1 over 3 throughout. So we say 1 over 3 multiplied, bracket, 4 squared. Now we apply the formula. 4 squared over 2 multiplied by sine inverse of x over 4. So in place of a, we're going to put 4. We put 4 there. We go plus, we go x divided by 2. We say multiply by a squared, which is of course is 4 squared. In place of a, we put 4. 4 squared minus x squared. Close the bracket here. And of course, we're going to put a plus c at the end. We're going to have a plus c here because we're dealing with an indefinite integral. Now, the 1 over 3, you can now multiply throughout. But before you do that, we've got 4 squared, which is, of course, 16, divided by 2. So 16 divided by 2 is obviously 8, okay? So now we'll have the following. So now we've got 8. Now we're multiplying also the 1 over 3 throughout. So this is going to give us 8 divided by 3 multiplied by sine inverse of x over 4 plus we've got x over 3 times 2, okay, that is of course x over 6, so this is x over 6 multiplied by the square root 4 squared, which is of course 16, minus x squared, so we square root of this, and then we go plus c, plus c here, okay. So then this will be the solution of this one. There is a video that I did where I show how to derive this formula here. Okay, so you can look at that video, you can have a look at that video to see how I derive this formula. But for this particular problem, okay, there's no need to derive the formula. You didn't have to derive it. All you have to do, you go to the formula sheet that's given to you and find the formula and just apply it. So you can stop there.